Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai B'Hashem, Kakwadash. And I'm going to entitle this video, The Most High Opened the Eyes of the Prophets Only. What I'm going to get into, the last video that I did, or the last two videos, really the last video, I went into the God gene. Now if you go to Google, you got to give it to Esau. He knows his shit. He does a lot of, the scriptures say he's wiser than Daniel, meaning he knows things. And the elite, when I say the elite, I'm talking about the elite spiritual men on the left hand side, the elite scientists, because they all work together. The international bankers, the elite, the super rich families and top witches and warlocks. I don't like that word, but if we use that word warlock, I like the way it sounds. When you say warlock, you think of a demonic person. But anyway, they like the scripture said, they are wiser than Daniel. What Daniel knows, the top elites that all work together, the Bible historians, the archaeologists, as I mentioned, the scientists, they work together. They work together. So they have the top experts. Like when they make a movie, like they make a period piece, they make it where, like Ridley Scott comes to mind. He makes a lot of period pieces, and he makes these epic movies. And when you see the movie, you kind of think that he makes you think that you were back at that time, because he covered every detail, the garments, the swords, the language, everything. So if Esau is on that level to check out everything, he knows everything. Anything that comes on the scene, he got to know about it. He got to become a super expert on it. So he knows what we know because he listens to us, and he goes back and he verifies or confirms what we say. The super elite, believe me, they're not saying these so-called black Hebrew Israelites, I don't know why they're calling it South Israel. Look, they know who we are. They know who we are. What is it? Apostle Gabar always says this, or he says this from time to time. He said, in order for you to tell a lie, you have to know the truth. So when you say Esau is a liar, he's a devil, he's a deceiver, he's a false accuser, Diabolos, that means he knows the truth. So when he says, you got a bunch of guys, black guys, saying that they're Israelites, he's pretending like he doesn't know, but he knows. This devil knows. As Yeshua used to say, this devil knows. And he knows. Thou art wiser than Daniel. Now, what did I say? Oh, I was going to go to the God gene. And I spoke about that in the previous video. Okay, the God gene, hypothesis proposes that human spirituality is influenced by heredity. Heredity is what's in your father. It's all about your father. You know, you get some things from your mother, your looks and certain things from your mother, but your spirit is the spirit of your father. It says that's why genealogy is so important, and that's why we don't have to prove our lineage. We don't have to say, well, this my father goes back to my grandfather, my great grandfather, and our line goes all the way back to Aaron, the high priest, or whatever. Now, when we were in the land of the Holy Land, we had the records. You had the records, and you had disputes about whether you were from this tribe or that tribe, because you had Israelites that had left the Holy Land and they went out further. That's all throughout the scriptures. That's why they were called strangers. So when they come back, you might question whether they're Israelites or not, and they would have to prove that he might have a lineage, a family tree of himself. And so they say, okay, you're from the tribe of Benjamin. Okay, so this is the land of Benjamin, so we're going to give you a plot of land. So that's what heredity is, meaning you inherit not just the land, but you inherit certain spiritual gifts from your father. Let me when I say your father, I'm talking about your biological father. Like you got this guy, I can't even think of his name. You can put the name in the description box. He played in the championships, NBA championships. Damn, I can't even think of his name. The man looked like Jamie Foxx, but they're saying that that's Michael Jordan's son, and he's a top player. The Celtics had won, they would have made him the MVP, most valuable player. Damn, I can't think of his name. I mean, I can go look it up real quick, but put it in the description box. I mean, in the comment section. And they're saying he's Jordan's son, because Jordan, was sleeping around, and just as the story goes, he slept with a woman and they broke up. I forget her name, and basically, there's a whole lot of mixed stories, whether he paid the woman something or whether he said, look, don't say that's my son. So it'll come out, if that's his son, then they're gonna embrace, But what he has, if damn, man, now I'm getting mad. I mean, I was speaking about that dude I was watching a video on him the other day. Shit. Jordan, let me put in Jordan's son. Let's see what comes up. Let me try this. Okay, Jordan's son. Let me try this. Okay, they give me a hard time. Okay, one of his sons is Jeffrey Michael Jordan and Marcus Jordan. Let me look that up. Yeah, you got Marcus Jordan. He plays ball. He was born in 1990. I'm not going to go all into his history, but let me come back. I'm going into something else, but since that word hereditary came up, I gotta play on it, man. Damn, man. It won't even come up because I guess Jordan has a take all that stuff down. Let me try this. Let me try this. Bear with me. Damn, it won't even come up. Won't even come up. Let me try this. Let me see Celtics rumors. Let me try that. Damn, man, they hiding all this stuff. Let me try this. Jordan's son, Boston Celtics. Boston Celtics. Boy, I can't even y'all know the name. Just put them up there on the comment board. That's a whole nother show. But anyway, let me look this up. Okay. Heredity, the sum of all biological processes by which particular characteristics are transmitted from parents to their offsprings. So sometimes you have a great entertainer that has a son that he becomes an entertainer, or a great NBA player that he has a son or sons, and they might not be as good as their fathers, or they might be better than their fathers. In the case of Kobe Bryant, he's a product of his father, which played. He played in the States, but he also played outside the States. If you know his name, I'm not a big basketball NBA historian, but you can put his name there, and he became great because of the traits and the DNA that his father had was passed on to him. So now let's go back to, boy. Okay, let's read this again. God gene. The God gene hypothesis, I finally said it right, supposes that human spirituality is influenced by heredity, and that a specific gene called, I'm going to just give you the acronym, VMA2T2, which is also known as a God gene, predisposes humans towards spiritual or mystic experiences. Now, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. Okay, it says it's being religious genetic. Overall, nearly all of population will have a genetic predisposition toward religion, although some or many of these individuals will lead secular lives. Rawthorne concluded the rate at which religious people abandon their faith affects the eventual share of the population who are religious. Let me try this. According to this, it says pretty much the same thing. According to this hypothesis, the God gene, another way of saying it is theory, the God gene VMAT2 is a sociological arrangement that produces the sensation associated by some VMAT2 codes for a vesicular. That's the acronym, trying to read it out. Monoamine transporter, or transporter 2, that plays a key role in regulating the levels of the brain, commercials, serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine. That's I'm having problems trying to pronounce that. Let me go into that. Let me go into that word. Bear me for a minute. Okay, how is it pronounced? They don't want to give me the pronunciation. Norepinephrine is a natural occurring. Normally they tell you how to say it. Is a natural occurring chemical in the body that acts as both a stress hormone and neurotransmitter, a substance that sends signals between nerve cells. It's released into the blood as a stress hormone when the brain perceives that a stressful event has occurred. Yeah, it also makes me think of the fight or flight, which is the adrenaline in your body. Boy, I gotta do a lot of explaining. Boy, oh boy. Let me try this here. Okay, I read about the God gene. Now, which means the God gene, the VMAT2 is a gene in your body that connects you, gives you a spiritual connection to the Most High. Now, I believe these V's that they're going to give everybody is going to change your DNA, your RNA, change you. And what I believe, but is yet to be seen, that's why I wouldn't take the V at any cost, even unto death. I wouldn't take the V. Now, you want to listen to Nate and you want to listen to Johanna, you go ahead and listen to him. You take that V, and you're going to wind up being jacked up by the Most High. You damn sure ain't going to make it. which I believe will lead almost immediately to the mark of the beast, which is the microchip. First they have to change your DNA, then they have to put the chip in you so you can be a part of the internet of all things. So the reason why the Most High said in Revelation, the 14th chapter, the 9th verse, because he's not going to want you. Like in the Michael Jackson movie, when Joe Jackson got caught messing around, and Michael Jackson's mother found out about it, and they did it in the movie, and she said in the movie, what was the name that played it? She said, "I don't want you, I don't want you, I don't want you, I don't want you." Well, first of all, you're completely out of order, because number one, he's an Israelite. First and foremost, he's an Israelite. He can have more than one woman. See, in this society, you got these fucked up black women that are not spiritually linked to the Most High. Shit, you might as well go with the Edomite. You got just as much devils as our woman has just as much devils as the Edomite. Only thing, there's a difference of nationality. You're gonna get fucked up no matter what woman you get with. Why did Paul say what he said in 1 Corinthians 7 chapter, man? Okay, this is Revelation 14 and 9. It said, "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand." You notice it didn't say right hand. Now, this guy Ayathun, whatever his rank is, Deacon Ayathun, he made a video that this was some years ago, that he said, okay, it says you can't take it in your right hand, your forehead. What about your left hand? What about your butt cheek? There's no law in that. So he was suggesting that, well, you be okay. You can take the chip, just take it in just tell him you want it in the left hand, or tell him you want it in your pinky toe. Well, right here in the 9th verse, it says, "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image." You got a lot of Israelites that can't even explain what the beast is. They can't even tell you what the image is. The image is not no picture of Caesar Borgia, and it's not the Roman Catholic Church. It's not no goddamn Vatican City. "And receive his mark," charagma, which is a physical thing that's going to be embedded in your hand, on your forehead, on your butt cheek, in his forehead or in his hand. It says the 10th verse, "The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone." What is the fire and brimstone? Those missiles hitting the earth. Those lasers coming from the ships, the chariots, in the presence of the holy angels. Why? Because the angels are going to be above this day when our Lord come back with the angels in the midst of Jacob's trouble. You cannot compare it to anything in history, the history of the planet Earth. Think of all the terrible things that happened in the earth going back 5,000, almost 6,000 years ago. Think of the Mount Vesuvius erupting, and you had people that died in their fixed position, holding their children and so forth. That's a walk in the park compared to what the Most High going to do. The flood, the great flood during Noah's time, that's a walk in the park compared to what the Most High is going to do he's gonna fire people up, man. So you people playing games, you got to get your mind right, man. There ain't no motherfucking way in hell you gonna put a V in me. But a lot of y'all, I see that they're gonna take it because you want to eat, just like Johanna said. Just like Johanna told Deacon Hakar of the Sakari. According to what Deacon Hakar said, he asked him a question, Johanna a question, General Johanna a question about the chip, and he said, "You gonna take the chip?" And Johanna said, "He gonna take the chip." He said, "Cause you want to eat, you got to eat, and your kids got to eat." That's what Deacon Hakar said, quoting General Johanna. I don't know if Johanna actually said that. I don't know if they actually had this conversation. Now Hakar can make a video and explain it, and while he's doing that, he can explain away that Mary is of the tribe of Judah, because Mary is of the tribe of Judah, by the way, if you're listening. So you go ahead and make a video on that. So it says, 9th verse, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, "If any man worship the beast and his," so you better know who the beast is. You better ask him, somebody, who's the beast, so you can stay away from the beast. And his image, find out who the image is or what the image is and stay away from that. And receive his mark. Now it says worship the beast and his image. It didn't say worship the mark, if you notice that, right? If the mark was a Roman Catholic Church or Christianity, wouldn't it say and worship the mark? Huh? Aha. Aha. Let me read that again. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, "If any man worship the beast and his image," and worship the beast and his image, worship the beast and his image, and receive. And by the way, if you worship in a picture of Caesar Borgia, guess what? You are going to worship the beast and his image. But Caesar Borgia is not the image of the beast. And once you worship the beast, two things: the beast and his image, and after you worship, you pay homage. Let's look up the word worship. Let's look up the word worship.
Strong's G 4352. Proskuneo. Proskuneo.
Which means to kiss the hand toward one in token of reverence. Use of homage shown to men and beings of superior rank. So when you join the military, you got to take an oath. So anybody that's a part of the military, they worship the system. They believe they die for the system. So you got to pick these words out, man. So you notice it didn't say worship the mark. It said receive the mark. Receive the mark.
Strong's G 2983. Lambano. Lambano.
Sounds like a goddamn dance from Brazil. It says to take with the hand. Ooh. To take with the hand. Lay hold of any person or thing in order to use it. To take up a thing to be carried. To take upon oneself. it says to worship the beast and the image and receive, take in the hand his mark in his forehead or in his hand. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. Let's look up the word indignation. Because he's going to take you out because you sold your soul to anybody that takes a chip. So you sold your soul to the devil. You sold your soul to the devil, man. You sealed the deal. It says anger. Matter of fact, let me let you listen to it.
Strong's G 3709. Arge. Arge.
Arge. Anger. The natural disposition, temper, character, movement, or agitation of the soul, impulse, desire, any violent emotion. So the Most High is going to issue upon you a violent emotion. He's going to overkill your ass. Anger exhibited in punishment, hence used for punishment itself or punishment inflicted by magistrates. Now when you go to the Old Testament in the law, if you are servant to another man, he's your master. Now the Hebrew servants to a Hebrew master, he's only to serve him for 7 years, and once he finishes his 7 years, he's to given enough substance so he doesn't have to go under any other master. He can be the master and have servants under him. And normally that worked with Israelite boys that could be as early as 12 years old. The parents could push the son out to a man that's a Hebrew that's rich, and so by the time he hits 19 years old, he's got the substance. He don't need to work for nobody. Now you might say, like, if you receive the law goes into you receiving you fall in love with a fellow servant under the master, a woman, and you have children. Once your 7 years is up, you can leave, but you got to leave your children and your wife behind unless you decide to stay with the so-called master. And you say, well, I love my wife, I love my children, and my master treats me good. This is a Hebrew to a Hebrew. You have certain laws of masters and slaves with a Hebrew and a one of another nation, which that's everlasting slavery until a man dies. But with a Hebrew, he's only to rule over you for 7 years. Read about Jacob and Leah and Rachel's father, Laban. He worked 7 years for Rachel, and Laban pulled a fast one on him. Then he said, "I'll work another 7 years for Rachel." And it said it felt like it. He said it felt like it went a week. It went quick because of the love and the love that he had for Rachel. But he could have just as soon said, "You know what? I'm going to stay up under you forever." And in the law, you would put an awl in your ear, which is like an earring, and that's a symbol to say that I'm under this guy forever until I die. So what Esau is going to give you is a electronic awl, but he's not going to put it on your earlobe. He's going to put it in your right hand, left hand, in your forehead, meaning in your brain, a brain chip. Elon Musk, Neuralink. Do some research on that. So when the Most High come back, the Most High can't get you because you made a conscious decision to say, this man is my master. I'm going to die with him. So the Most High said, okay, you're going to die with him. You're right. You are going to die with him. I'm going to give you the same destruction I'm going to give to this Edomite, man. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. And the wicked's not talking about Esau. It's talking about them other nations. It's talking about them 2/3 Israelites. So I had to go into that, man. Now I wanted to go into something else. I didn't bring it up. Or did I? Okay, when you go to what I did was I put in the pineal gland. Okay, besides the God gene, you have the pineal gland. Now with the God gene and with the pineal gland, you are able to see visions, dreams, which are visions in the form of dreams, and your spiritual mind is open to see things. You know how you have a premonition? That's the spiritual realm telling you something. Don't go around that corner. It's danger. You just know it is, and all of a sudden somebody else goes around the corner and something bad happens to that person. That's part of that God gene, and that's part of the pineal gland. Now it says the pineal gland is a small structure inside the brain. And by the way, anytime you go to parks, you'll see a pine cone. You'll see like different parks. You see the gates that have pine cones in certain buildings. There's a building in London, England, if I'm not mistaken. It is shaped like a pine cone, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's 15 Mary Street, if I'm not mistaken. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna find out. Bear with me for a minute. Let me put in 15 Mary Street. Let's see what comes up. Okay, let me see. Okay, it came up Mary Street. Let me go to images. Boom. The building came up. So if you go to, matter of fact, let me click on this. Actually, it's Saint Mary Axe. It's a looking north up St. Mary Axe. It's a skyscraper that looks like a pine cone. There's a reason for that. That symbol represents the pineal gland, where you get the spiritual connection between you and the spiritual realm. So what you do is you put in Saint Mary Axe. Saint Mary Axe. So from now on, when you go to these parks and these certain places, you'll see fences, like black fences, and you'll see like an actual pine cone. You know, a man-made pine cone, and that's why they call it the pineal gland, because it resembles the pine cone. And the pineal gland, I'm going to read again, the pineal gland is a small structure inside the brain that influences the sleep cycle by secreting the hormone melatonin. When you don't sleep, you're all messed up. What is that called? There's a term called something rhythm, and I've read through it. It'll come back to me. It says, but when you sleep, your body secretes a hormone called melatonin, and you can either buy it at the health store. There's people that can't get no sleep, and they'll buy melatonin pills. But the natural way to get melatonin is from sleeping. You don't sleep a lot, and all of a sudden one day you sleep for 12 hours on a Sunday, and you don't know why, because your body's catching up, for lack of a scientific way of saying it. I think the term is circadian rhythms, if I'm not mistaken. It said, but claims have spread that the pineal gland also can produce DMT. So go to Google and put in DMT. I'll put it in all caps. A claim that has been used as a biological explanation for, listen at this, dreams, UFO abductions, and other out-of-body experiences. Out-of-body experiences is when you, the thing is called astral projection. And I experienced astral projection, where your spirit leaves your body and goes out and flies around. But there's a spiritual umbilical cord that connects to your body. So part of your spirit leaves your body. But it wasn't like I wanted to do it. It just happened. It just happened. I remember the few times I experienced it, where I got up and it was dark in the room, and I hovered over to the light, and I tried to turn the light on. I felt my hand, trying to turn the switch, and nothing would happen. Or I would go to another switch on the wall and try to turn the light on, and I would touch it and nothing would happen. Similar to the movie Ghost. That's he saw things and he was able to hover around, but he couldn't actually make things happen. But then in the movie he used enough force to kind of push something. That's all movie BS, Hollywood BS. But there is such a thing called astral projection. And that proves that you have that there's a spirit in you. There's a spirit in you. And that spirit is energy, because when your body dies, you become lighter. There was a movie, it was called something grams. I think it was, what was it, 19 grams or something like that. But it's the weight of your body you lose at the very minute you die, because your spirit leaves your body. Check that out. Your spirit leaves your body and you lose so many grams, so much weight, or very little weight. So that proves that the spirit has weight. So the spirit is mass. Okay, it says that the pineal gland also can produce DMT, a claim that has been used as a biological explanation for dreams. Dreams is a spiritual thing. I had a dream the other day where it was me and Manatizak, and we were going to a house, and it was dark, and there was a big snake. It was a go between a boa constrictor and a damn rattlesnake, and it was up in its attack position. So we saw it and we were like, yeah, let's pick up a rock and throw it at it, and it'll go away. But as soon as I thought that, the snake went down on the ground and started, you know how they slither fast. And man, I ran, and Elder Monatizak or Bishop Monatizak ran, and I woke up, I fell out the damn bed. I was like, boom, and I said, oh, and I was all bruised up a little bit, but I said, damn, that thing looked real. And so I went back to bed knowing that could be a vision, or that could be just a dream, which the scriptures tell you that. Sometimes you just get dreams. Sometimes they don't mean anything. So you got to know the difference between a dream, whether you ate a bad tuna fish sandwich, or that's the old saying, or whether that's an actual vision. Now, my woman, she's always having dreams, and when she gets up to go to the bathroom, go back to sleep, the dream is on pause and it starts all over again, or it starts where it left off. So I said, that ain't no dream, that's a vision. And most of the dreams, the majority of the dreams that she has is of destruction. She sees UFOs, she sees the angels, she sees Esau going to slavery, you know, she sees missiles and lasers coming out of ships, she sees people being beamed up. I said, what type of people do you see being beamed up? Well, I didn't see no white people getting beamed up. I said, what type of people? She said, black, Puerto Rican, Jamaican, Dominican, Mexican, those type of people in the hood people. Anyway, it says the pineal gland also can produce DMT, a claim that has been used as a biological explanation for dreams. Dreams meaning visions. UFO abductions. Most people, according to what I read, once they're abducted, they have a whole lot of dreams and visions and stuff, and other out-of-body experiences, meaning astral projection. So now this is what I did. I took the word DMT and I said, let me look this up. It says DMT, it's a long name, I'm not even going to try to break it down. It's a chemical substance that occurs in many plants and animals, and which is both, by the way, animals have dreams. There's a book out called Animal Dreams, you should get it. Inside joke. A derivative and a structural analog of tryptamine. Is that tryptamine? Let me see something. It might be tryptamine. I'm pronouncing it the wrong way. That's the stuff that you get in turkeys. Let me look that up. Always good to look up words. Okay, tryptamine. Let's see what that means. Let me try it this way. Okay, tryptamine. Okay, tryptamine, I was right. Tryptamine is what's found in like turkey. That's why on so-called Thanksgiving you eat turkey and you want to go to sleep. Well, that's the tryptamine that makes you go to sleep. It says tryptamine is a monoamine alkaloid. It contains an indole ring structure and is structurally similar to the amino acid tryptophan, from which the name derives. Tryptamine is found in trace amounts in the brains of mammals, which we are mammals, and is hypothesized to play a role as a neuromodulator. A modulator is what controls your body neurotransmitter. So when they give you this, when they give you these V's, and when they ultimately give you the microchip, it's going to change the makeup of your body. That's why we've been doing so many videos on this, man. Esau knows. Esau, he puts these things together because he knows, and I guarantee you, he done already did it. He been testing people with these particular drugs, and he knows the effect. He knows the changes. So that's what he's planning on doing to you. It says in Revelation 18 chapter, in souls of men. He's trying to take your soul. So these other camp leaders, these guys like Nate and Johanna, they're Judas goats. They're nothing more than, that's all they are, Judas goats, whether they know it or not. So you window shoppers out there, you better come right through that door. So let me go back to, damn, where is it? Okay, let me read that again. It says DMT. It says is a chemical substance that occurs in many plants and animals, in which is both a derivative and a structural analog of tryptamine. Which I read about tryptophan. It can be consumed as a psychedelic drug, and psychedelic drugs, let me look that up, I already know what it means. Psychedelic drugs alter your states. There was a movie out called Altered States, starring William Hurt, and he would kind of turn into like a monkey and wind up in the damn Bronx Zoo or some damn where. So Esau knows this, man. Let me do a word search. Psychedelic drugs. Psychedelics are a hallucinogenic class of psychoactive drug whose primary effect is to trigger non-ordinary states of consciousness. That's going into the spiritual realm. See, the Most High taps something in our spirit so that we know that we're Israelites. See, we know that we're Israelites. It's not like we're reading the Bible and it makes sense. I think I am an Israelite. It's a spiritual connection, man. It's a spiritual connection. You know, you look at guys like Sarnetta and these other guys, they can't get it because the Most High haven't tapped into their pineal gland. The Most High haven't tapped into their I'm getting all confused here. What was the other term? Oh, the God gland or the pineal gland. They think they're deep. They think they're not deep. Them demons are feeding them with that Hamitic nonsense, man. Why you think Sarnetta and them, Garfield and Sarnetta, and why they always bringing up topics on the Israelite thing? Why they always, the Israelites this, and we're going to prove that you're not Israelite, and it's a Bible compare. That's all they speak about. That's all they claim to be against it, but that's all they speak about it, man. It's just like you break up with a chick and you talk shit about her, and that's all you do is talk shit about her. That means you really want to get back with her. It said that's why a lot of these guys that come into this truth, into this circle, the spiritual circle, and they leave, they're in a fucked up state of mind, man. They don't know what they want to do, man. They don't believe this. The missiles ain't real. The UFOs ain't real. Hell is a place, and this and that. The 12 tribes sign, because they're in a fucked up state of mind. Hey, this guy sung that song, I'm in a New York state of mind. Well, they in a fucked up state of mind. They're in altered states. They're in between states of knowing that they're Israelites but not knowing that they're Israelites. And a lot of guys that have witnessed this have literally bugged out of their mind. When you come into this circle of the Hebrew Israelite thing and you leave, well, that goes into the seven, the one demon coming back with 7 demons more powerful than himself. And I was watching a documentary on YouTube of this guy called what's his name? Damn, I can't. His nickname is the Mechanic Bull, and he was a guy that knocked out Lennox Lewis, and he's always sparring. Like he was famous for sparring with Mike Tyson. Can't even think of the guy's name. You can put that in the comment board, but that dude had demons on him, man. That dude straight up had demons on him. Man, can't think of his name. It'll come back to me. Let me see if I can let me see. Lennox. Okay, who KO'd Lennox Lewis? Let me put it in like that. Okay, Hasim Rockman was one of them. Oh, Oliver McCall. Oliver McCall. There's a documentary on YouTube of this guy, and I'm watching him, and this dude had demons on him, man. He was doing all type of. He was fighting while he was high on heroin, man, on crack. There's certain boxers out there that guys that were world champions that was doing crack and fighting and knocking niggas out, doing heroin, man. This guy was on heavy drugs. Now, in the end of the thing, Lennox Lewis, when he got knocked out, when he came back, he was beating Oliver McCall, but he couldn't knock him down and knock him out. And Oliver McCall had his hands down, and Lennox was hitting. And Lennox is known for knocking motherfuckers out. And he was hitting this guy, and the dude was just looking at him, man. He just put his hands down, put his hands up, walk around. And then they said the last fight that he had, this guy goes back to the 90s. They said the last professional fight that he had was in 2018. That's 2 years ago, man. And he was still knocking people out because those demons stayed with him. So these guys that go out of the circle of this whole Hebrew Israelite thing, the demons are going to get you, man. They're going to have whatever doctrine that you were following, you're going to switch up that whole doctrine. And you brothers are seeing that, man. Altered states. Bear me for a minute. Okay, so let's go back to psychedelic drugs. Psychedelics are a hallucinogenic class of psychoactive drugs whose primary effect is to trigger, you hit that switch. You do a particular drug, even the doctors, when they give you a certain prescription, it changes it can change your state of mind, man. It says these drugs trigger non-ordinary states of consciousness. That's going into the spiritual realm. See, the Most High had to tap into the brain and the spirit of Paul so he can go into the spiritual realm, man. What the Apostle Paul went through, and was that first, I think it was 2 Corinthians 12. It was 2 Corinthians 12, starting from the first verse. He was stoned 14 years before that, and he was actually dead. They left him dead because he died. His spirit left his body. So he had an out-of-body experience, and he went up into the heavens of heavens, or the heavens of heavens of heavens, and he saw things that he could not utter. He could not describe. That's what he said. It was not lawful to speak, meaning he couldn't put word. How great the spiritual realm was, he couldn't put it into words. When people die, they don't want to come back. They do not want to come back. So let me read that again. Psychedelics are a hallucinogenic class of psychoactive drugs whose primary effect is to trigger non-ordinary, meaning you go outside, you buy something from the store, you get in your car, you go to the bathroom. Those are ordinary things. This is non-ordinary states of consciousness, meaning you bug the fuck out via serotonin. So we got to, but I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to deal with serotonin. That's a whole nother subject. 2A receptors. You have receptors in you have genes. You have the body is complex, and that proves right there the structure of the body. That proves that there's a Most High. Oh, and I read this one article where it says so-called black men, so-called black people are more spiritual and religious than so-called white people. If I already knew, because Esau really doesn't believe in the Most High. They defy the Most. That's their nature. Like Sonetta asked, well, how can Jacob and Esau be in the same womb? Ain't they the same? They actual twins? Yeah, they're twins, but the Most High put two different spirits: the spirit of the devil in one, and the spirit of the righteousness in the other. And the Most High can do that. It said this causes specific psychological, visual, and auditory changes, and often a substantially altered state of consciousness. You see somebody high on heroin, man, they can stand up and they can do like a weeble. They can go front and they can go back, but they'll never fall. And that's why Lennox Lewis couldn't knock Oliver McCall down, because he was in an altered state. A man that's in a drug-induced stupor, it's hard to knock him down, man. And those are demons holding his ass up. The man that was possessed with legions, he said nobody could stop. They put chains around, he broke the chains. Who actually broke the chains? Them demons that was in him. Them altered states, man. So let me see if I can find this again. And see, the Most High designed us this way, but if you take that, the V's and the mark, it's going to change your state, and the Most High is not going to want you. He's going to look at you like the enemy. Okay, it says psychedelic. I'm back at DMT. It says psychedelic drugs and has historically been prepared by various cultures for ritual purposes as an Entheogen, excuse me. And I got that also. Let's look at that.
Entheogen.
Entheogen. Entheogen. It says an entheogen is a psychoactive substance that induces alterations in perception, the way you see things. There were prophets that saw things that other people around them didn't see. When Paul got knocked off the horse and converted, he heard the Most High, he heard the Lord, but the men didn't hear anything. They heard thunder and lightning and commotion. They ran and hid. You can be in an altered state of mind and see a demon, and you're around people and they don't see shit. They showed you that in the movie Jacob's Ladder. He saw the Most High, the spiritual realm, open up his eyes to see all those demons. And he saw his woman, which is the Ephraimite chick, she turned into a demon right in front of him. If you can get that movie, that's a great movie. It says, includes alterations in perceptions, the way you see things, the way you feel things, taste things, hear things. That happened to the Egyptians when the Most High brought the plagues in them. That's in the Apocrypha. That's a whole other subject. It's a mode, consciousness, cognition, what's in your mind, or behavior for the purposes of engendering spiritual development in sacred context. The reason why the prophets of the Lord were able to see those visions, because the Most High tapped into their pineal gland. The Most High tapped into their God gene, as they call it. The reason why we know that we're Israelites and there's nothing, and then you got guys that become Israelites and they'll get a purse and they'll sell out. Why? Because the Most High never really tapped into their God gene. Like General Yohana, he sold the fuck out. He made that deal. He said, man, I know I'm going, that's what he's saying. He knows he's going to die. He knows he's going to eat one of the missiles, but he's going to enjoy life now. You know? So now, I made this long, but hey, so what? This is what I'm going to do. Bear me for 1 minute. I got to set this up if I can find it. Now what I did, a whole bunch of certain precepts came to me. As a matter of fact, let me do it like this. Let me go to Numbers. Numbers really you got to read the 23rd and the 24th chapter, possibly the 22nd chapter. Let me try this here. Okay, that's good. I'm just gonna jump around. It says Numbers 24 verse 2, and Balaam lifted up his eyes and he saw Israel abiding in his tents, or in their tents according to their tribes, and the Spirit of the Most High came upon him. Now in the third, I got to go to that. Let me go to Numbers 23. Numbers 23. And 9 is a key point. Let me try this. Let me try this. Okay. Numbers 23 verse 9. Number 23 verse 8. It said, how shall I curse whom the Most High have not cursed? Or how shall I defy whom the Most High Yahweh have not defied? From the tops of the rock I see him, and from the hills I beheld him. Lo, the people shall dwell alone. The people are who? The Israelites. He's seen him in a scattered state. And shall not be reckoned or recognized among the nations. They don't recognize us as the Israelites. 10th verse. Who can count the dust of Jacob and the number of the fourth part of Israel? Let me die. This is Balaam speaking. He's saying, let me die the death of the righteous. Who are the righteous? The Israelites. And let my last end be like his, the Israelites. Why? Because he saw them in the kingdom. He saw them in the kingdom. He saw Esau bowing down. He saw the nations bowing down. He saw us in our majesty, sitting on thrones, royal. And this is why Esau wants to be us so bad. And he can't be us. See, Esau done unlocked that door and he saw the future. He saw his ass in the fucking field working, man, getting his ass whooped. Real talk. Okay, let me go back to Numbers 24 verse 2. And Balaam lifted up his eyes, and he saw Israel abiding in his tents according to their tribes, and the Spirit of the Most High came upon him. And he showing you that the Most High can give visions to other nations, because Balaam was an Israelite. That's why he said what he said in Numbers 23. I wish my last end could be like his. It says, and he took up his parable and said, Balaam the son of Beor have said, and the man whose eyes were open have said. What eyes is it talking about? It's talking about the third eye. It's talking about the pineal gland. It's talking about the God gene. You have to have the so-called God gene in the pineal gland in order for the Most High to tap into your head. And that song that was famous during the Vietnam conflict, man, or the Vietnam police action. It wasn't a conflict, it wasn't a war, it was a police action. All right? It was just American police trying to put shit in order around the world because to appease the New World Order elite. There was a song by Jefferson Airplane, which they changed the name to Jefferson Starship. It's called If You Go Chasing Rabbits or something to that effect. And that's a bad song. And the song was about hallucinogenic drugs. All right? And almost at the end of the song, the lead singer, Apostle Gabar, can tell you who the lead singer is. He can tell you when the group came together and all that. I'll leave that up to him. The last part of the song, she was saying, if you go chasing rabbits, I don't know, I forget all the lyrics, but I'm gonna listen to the song just to maybe do a video on it and break it down, or maybe Apostle Gabar can do a video on it and break it down, because he's the music man. All right. But almost at the end of the song, she goes, in your head, in your head, in your head. What was it talking about? How those hallucinogenic drugs because that's what they were using back there, opens up your spirit to altered states. And that's why you had these heroic guys in the Vietnam conflict or the police action. They were going out there, and they showed you that in the movie. They gave you a taste of that in the movie Platoon. And guys were getting high and shit, so they can go out there and fight. They had to alter their state, man. They had to get into altered states, because basically you around war. And all them guys came back. What brought drugs back to America is those the GIs, because they brought the drugs with them. Just like in World War II, when they were stationed in Italy, man, they were eating the pizza and the Italian food, and the Italian food became famous over here partially because the GIs brought it back over here, man. They missed the pizzas and the Vio Parmigianos and so forth, and the scungili. And the antipasto, you know, and the Italian bread and the wine. Anyway, it says, and he took up his parable and said, Balaam, the son of Beor, have said, and the man whose eyes are open have said. Now, he didn't have to do no drugs to switch to altered states. The Most High went in there and clicked and opened up his pineal gland, you know what I'm saying, in his God gene. And this is what Esau wants to change. He wants to change you up. And if you allow Esau to change you up with his devices, the Most High is going to do. He's going to look at you like an Edomite. He's going to look at that. That's an Edomite with a tan. Blast his ass. It said, he have said, which heard the words of the Most High, which saw the vision of the Almighty falling into a trance, and but having his eyes open, like someone high on heroin, man. They'll walk through traffic and never get hit, because them demons are guiding them, man. Them demons are making them cars swerve, man. It's crazy. Jump down to the 15th verse. It says, and he took up his parable and said, Balaam the son of Beor have said, and the man whose eyes were open have said, he have said, which heard the words of the Most High and knew the knowledge of the Most High. The Apostle Paul referred to what he received was a mystery, which saw and being sup, the Lord coming to sup with you, which saw the vision of the Almighty falling into a trance, but having his eyes open. It says, I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, that's Yahushua, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Seth. What is he? He's going to do that all at once. He's going to get all those nations at once. That's why it said in Revelation 19, he's going to have many crowns on his head, because he's going to take down the Moabites, the Ammonites, the Edomites, all these different nations. And destroy all the children of Seth. And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. Judah shall also fight, pursuant to Zechariah 14. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, rulership, and we're going to rule with him. We're going to be joint heirs with him. The saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and shall possess the kingdom forever, even forever and forever, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. What city? He saw Babylon the Great. He said, and destroyed him that remaineth of the city. The city is Babylon the Great. I don't got to read no more on that. Let me bring this one out. 1 Corinthians 13. I live a very structured life, man. You know, I may get up, see if I can make a couple of dollars, do this, eat, do that, Spirit jump on me, do a video, is off to sleep, and then get up to, and look, we was out there Saturday, right? Past, here it is, we're coming to Saturday all over again. Less than 48 hours, we'll be out there again, or a little more than 48 hours. And that's what we do, man. That's what we're built for. Not taking breaks, because the Spirit, the Most High, done tapped into our brains where we're like, where we are robots. We're robots of the Most High. Paul confirmed it by saying he referred to himself as a prisoner of Yahushua, a fool for Yahushua's sake, and he called himself a yoke fellow to his fellow laborers. My yoke fellow. And we have become wiser than our teachers, man. The Most High didn't open up our eyes to a lot more things than our teachers before us. It says here in 1 Corinthians 13 verse 12, for now we see through a glass darkly, meaning we see things, but we don't see things crystal clear. But the Most High is slowly taking away the smoke so we can see more things. See, the mark of the beast is still a dark smoke glass to General Johanna and Bishop Nate. They can't see it. The Most High didn't want them to see it. Guess what? The Most High opened up our eyes wide. We can see it. We don't think it's the chip. We don't. It might be. It is. It is. It is. 1 Corinthians 13 verse 12. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. So when are we going to see things face to face? When the Most High come, when the Lord come back. Now I know in part. But now we know in more part than Paul. We know more than Paul. The Apostle Paul, when John saw the woman sit upon the scarlet colored beast, he didn't know what that was. And even the angel explained it to him, he still didn't know what that was. Daniel didn't understand what he saw, those visions. He wrote them down, but he didn't know what that was all about. We are here now to break it down to you. Now I know in part, but then shall I know even as also I am known. And now abideth faith, because that's what we stand on, hope, charity, these three, but the greatest of these is charity, brotherly love. But truly the greatest is prophesying. Revelation. Well, you know what? That's the last verse of 1 Corinthians 13 chapter. It was the 13th verse. So when you go to the next, he said, and now by faith, hope, charity, these three, but the greatest of these is charity. So now let's go to, but what's greater than charity? Prophecy. Why? Because it says, follow after charity and desire spiritual gifts, but rather that ye may prophesy. So prophesying is greater than charity. Charity's up there. But prophecy is greater than them all. But prophecy will be done away with because we will be in the kingdom. Everything will be fulfilled, and then charity will abide. Let me go to Genesis 46 verse 2. And the Most High spake unto Israel, meaning Jacob, in the vision of the night, and said, Jacob, Jacob, and he said, Here am I. Remember the story of Eli and Samuel, right? Samuel was a young man, became one of the great prophets. And I believe Samuel is Abba, Bivens, and Elijah. But when he was a young man, Eli had to instruct him as to, that's the Lord calling you. It says here in Second Chronicles 9 verse 29, now the rest of the acts of Solomon, first and last, are they not written in the book of Nathan the prophet? For all you guys that got all these books, how many of y'all got the book of Nathan? How many of y'all got the book of Nathan? That's an actual book. How many of y'all got the book of the wars of the Lord? That's an actual book. Do you got that book? And in the prophecy of Ahijah, the Shilonite, and in the visions of Iddo, the seer or the prophet, the word seer, that means you see in the future, against Jeroboam, the son of Nebat. Because it wasn't just Ahijah, it was Ahijah and Iddo. Because the Most High wanted this man, he wanted the kingdom split. Second, the greatest man in the Most High's thing are the prophets as of right now. Second Chronicles 26 verse 5. And he sought the Most High in the days of Zechariah, who had understanding in the visions of the Most High, and as long as he sought Yahweh, the Most High made him prosper. Let me read that again. Second Chronicles 26 verse 5. And he sought the Most High in the days of Zechariah, who had understanding in the visions of the Most High, and as long as he had sought Yahweh, the Most High made him prosper. And that was a king at that time. That was the son of Amaziah. Job 4 verse 13. In thoughts from the visions of the night, when deep sleep falleth on a man. That's when your pineal gland secretes melatonin. Your dream state. That's where most of us get our visions. Job 7 verse 14. Then thou scareth me with dreams, and terrifieth me through visions. Ezekiel 1 verse 1. Now it came to pass in the 13th year, in the 4th month, in the 5th day of the month, as I was among the captives by the river of Chebar, that the heavens were open, and I saw visions of the Most High. And this was when Jacob was in captivity. Ezekiel 13 verse 16. To wit, the prophets of Israel which prophesy concerning Jerusalem, and which see visions of peace for her, and there is no peace, saith the Lord. So that was a false vision. That was a false vision. And this is what Esau is getting. He's receiving false vision at the hands of the left-hand side. Ezekiel 40 verse 2. In the vision of the Most High brought he me into the land of Israel, and set me upon a very high mountain, by which was as the frame of a city on the south. Daniel 1 verse 17. I'm just going to read a couple more. As for these, now remember, anytime you receive a vision, you had young men receive visions and dreams. You had women receive prophesying, meaning they would dream the dream of something that was going to happen, and by the told their husband. It says Daniel 1 verse 17, and as for these 4 children, the Most High gave them knowledge and skill in all learning and wisdom, and Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams. Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams, because the Most High tapped into his spirit. The Most High switched on that pineal gland, and that the God gene. Daniel 2 verse 28. But there is a power in heaven that revealeth secrets, and maketh known to the king Nebuchadnezzar. Here's another example of the Most High giving visions and dreams to other nations. And you best believe that the Most High is horrifying these Edomites, these elite Edomites, with these visions and dreams of them being in slavery. But they ain't saying nothing about it. What shall be in the latter days? Thy dreams and the visions of thy head upon thy bed are these. So Nebuchadnezzar had these dreams. Daniel had to break it down to him, because what did it say? It said that Daniel had the understanding of all visions and dreams. Daniel 4 verse 5. I saw a dream which made me afraid, and the thoughts upon my bed and the visions of my head troubled me. And I believe that was the king of Babylon. Yeah, because he went to him. It was the king of Babylon that went to Daniel, so Daniel could give him understandings of those dreams and visions. Daniel 4 verse 9. O Belteshazzar, master of the magicians, because I know that the spirit of the holy powers, gods with a lowercase g, is in thee, and no secret troubleth thee. Tell me the vision. Like, you got a lot of these people that watch our videos about the mark of the beast and the V's, and they're getting nervous. You don't want to get nervous. You want it to hurry up and come. As soon as it come, the sooner the Most High gonna come. It says, tell me the visions of my dream that I have seen, and the interpretation thereof. Got a couple more. Daniel 4 verse 13. I saw in the vision of my bed and upon I saw in the vision of my head and upon my bed, and behold, a watcher and an holy one came down from heaven. The watchers, we are known as watchers on the earth. We watch what's going on and we forecast it to the people. But you have angelic watchers as well. Hosea 12 verse 10. I have also spoken by the prophets. Most High didn't speak by nobody else. He didn't speak through kings, through generals, through priests, through bishops. He spoke through the apostles and the prophets. I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions and used similitudes. Now, all these different visions, different people say, well, what does this mean? And what does Revelation this mean? And Jeremiah that? They all mean the same thing. But the Most High gave them visions to different prophets in different ways, but it all meant the same thing. That great destruction, the beast in Daniel 7, Daniel 2, Revelation 18, Isaiah 34, Isaiah 13, Isaiah 14 is all talking about the same thing, but the Most High gave it to the prophets differently. It said, and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets. Joel 2 verse 28. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. And that was also the apostle Peter made the same statement. He quoted what Joel said in Acts 2 verse 17. Second Corinthians 12 verse 1, I think I spoke about this. It says, it is not expedient for me doubtless to glory. I will come to visions and revelations of Yahweh. So the apostle Paul came to visions and revelations of what's to come. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. It's on to the next one. Shalom.